Hi, my name is Siwela. I'm the owner and founder at Siwela Wines. I'm a biotechnologist by profession and I'm a winemaker. On today's video, I'm going to share with you how much you should be expecting to spend on startup capital if you're looking to start a wine business. So, I'm basing this information on my own personal experience. While there's so many ways to go on about a wine business, so this is just going to be a summary of how much you should expect to spend when you're looking into investing into a wine business. I think that it's very important to, start off with, great numbers. So you need at least 3 pallets of wine to see some profits when starting a wine business or when operating a wine business. So I always say to people that the wine business is a volume business. The more wine you sell, the more money you make. So 3 pallets would be a start. So we're going to be talking about, basing this video on 3 pallets. So it should cost you about 30 rands to 40 rands to produce a bottle of wine. So this involves things like the actual production, the grapes that you're going to be sourcing, the bottles, the labeling and everything else until the bottle of wine is actually completed and is ready to go into the market. So other than the actual production of that bottle of wine, you still need to consider certain costs that will be, applicable. Some of them are once-off, some of them would be continuous. So most importantly, you should be looking at your trademark costs. So these are part of the legal costs that you should be looking at, and you should definitely get your trademark so that you can protect, your label, you can protect everything about the brand that you're trying to establish. So I have paid about 15,000 for a trademark application. So you should be looking to spend about 15,000, 18,000, depending on the availability of the searches. So, and it also depends on how you go about that process. So the next legal fees would be your liquor license. So liquor license is extremely important. I think anywhere in the world, this is the most important, application or the most important thing for any liquor business, because without it you're unable to trade. So you're not allowed to trade without a liquor license. So you should be expecting to spend around about 16,000 to 30,000. It just depends on who you're using. So preferably you would want to use like an attorney that specializes in liquor licenses, because there are so many complicated processes when it comes to the application of liquor. And obviously with the government trying by all means to put in strict measures with regards to alcohol, the process is also just as difficult, and the license is just as difficult to attain. So the other thing that you want to look at is obviously your company registration, which you should be looking at spending not more than 200 rands in South Africa, of course. Then the other cost would be your storage facility. So usually I think depending on how much how big your storage facility is, you should be expecting to spend around 7,000 monthly. And obviously this is continuous, so it's not like a once-off fee, but this would be continuous, 7,000 per month going to your rental. And then you also want to consider things like, the distribution of your product, moving it from your warehouse into the actual customer. So I think you could be looking at, 100 rands a box, or 200 actually on average a box to deliver from one point to the other if you're going to be using a courier company, which is what most people use, like myself. And the other thing that you want to look at, which is very, very important, is marketing expenses. So when marketing, when you're marketing your wine business, or for the purpose of, establishing or building a wine business, I think like any other marketing, marketing advice that you could get out there, it's always to use 10% of your revenue. So if you can spend anything from 5,000 to 10,000 monthly towards your advertising and marketing, I think that would be great. So marketing involves a lot of things. It involves branding, merchandise, it involves anything else really that puts your brand out there so that you can generate more sales. And of course, there's so many other costs that could be involved that I didn't mention, but this is just the highlighted costs or areas that I chose to speak about today. And I hope you found this video, informative, and if you did, please do subscribe to the channel. Do visit us on all social media platforms at Siwela Wines. We have exciting wine courses for beginners, consultations, and of course, amazing wine. So till then, cheers.